Hello everyone, welcome back to True Oracle Tarot. This reading is for the sign of Taurus for the summer 2025. Please like, subscribe, and comment and share this video if you feel connected to this reading or know anyone who may need to hear this message. Also, it helps the algorithm push the video out so that it can reach others. Thank you. I hope everyone's doing well. I am going to start with a general reading or a general overview. Then we're going to move to money and then love and relationships. Okay, so this is for Taurus's 2025 general overview or personal growth, however you want to look at that. You have the Justice, that's number 2, Knight of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, and the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, so the 6 of Pentacles here, Taurus, is a card that represents generosity and charity, okay? The flow of resources, okay? The flow of abundance. You know, it's the act of giving and receiving. All right? It's like you giving, you with your generous self, giving money as charity, clothes, food, whatever it is. It comes back to you in multiply, right? It multiplies when it returns, you know. If you're a part of a community, I see you, you know, sharing your resources, or there's some type of sharing of resources in the community, okay? You helping others or others helping you, okay? It's a cycle of prosperity, all right? Your wealth, your financial, emotional, or spiritual need, spirituality, and your spiritual well-being, all these things need to be balanced also at this time. This is what this 6 of Pentacles is calling for also. So you have to also work on balancing all those things, okay? It might be a bit lopsided right now where you're working a lot of hours and you're not paying attention to your spiritual growth, or you're you know, not praying enough, or you're, you know, skipping certain things, meditation, you know, thanking the universe for your abundance, thanking God for your abundance, that sort of thing. Okay, so, you know, take time to express gratitude, all right, for your prosperity. And again, you know, also remember to give back, right? Give back to those in need. You know, the universe works through all of us. Well, God works through all of us, okay? Depending on your point of view. So, to give back however you can, you know, it doesn't necessarily need to be financial. It could be time, you know, in the form of food, clothing, whatever you can, you know, give back. Or show your gratitude, I should say. Here's the Justice card here, or Judgment, depending on which deck. So it's a powerful card, right? It's basically a card of rebirth, awakening, or reckoning, depending on your situation, okay? It signifies a moment of clarity that you're gonna have, Taurus. You know, when it's a time when you must evaluate evaluate yourself. Okay, we're at that time of year where people's starting to look back, like what I did for the year. How can I do better for 2026? Okay, how can I evolve into a better me, to my best self? Okay, so you're going to learn from your past mistakes. Try not to repeat anything going to the 2026. Learn from it. Make conscious decisions moving forward into 2026. Also, make conscious decisions into 2025. You don't want anything to move in, go with you into 2026. Okay. Rise above is also to rise above all patterns that you may have had. Try to identify them, work with them, deal with what's lingering, and get it done with before the end of the year or by the end of the year. And also forgive yourself, okay, and others, so you can move on with a fresh start. Okay. Like I said, you're gonna want to move into a more authentic version of yourself, a more evolved version, right? We should be like this every single month. We should be better than the month before, right? That should be one of our personal goals in life, is to become the best evolution of ourselves, right? It's about hearing a higher calling, also, an answer in it. Okay, some of you are also seeking spiritual. You're trying to ground yourself in your spirituality. Okay, you don't need any, and just remember, Taurus, you don't need anyone's permission. All right, you don't need anyone's permission to evolve. Okay. The Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is believe it or not, a romantic lover. It is a general overview, or a personal growth reading, but it is about a romantic lover, a dreamer, a message of the heart. So you might be receiving, if you're not dealing with anyone, someone from the past may try to make their way back, or see if you're still interested by sending a message somehow, a text, an email. Okay, trying to reach out to you. It is the time, 'tis the season. So you want to pay attention to that. The Knight of Cups is, very charming also. Okay, so if it's your person, or a past person, just, and you don't want to go backwards, just, be careful not to be manipulated, also, so, because the person does use a lot of intuition and their imagination as well. They're a dreamer, and you are as well, but this person acts on your feelings. They sort of act before they actually think, so listen to your intuition at this time also. Okay, and pursue what moves you emotionally. So just be careful there, even it's also calling you to also be inspired, right? To follow your heart, pursue your passions, or open yourself up emotionally. Okay, if you have been shut down for bad past relationship, or your past experiences, open up. You don't have to be alone, all the time. You can make friends. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lover. You can have friends. It's okay, you might have also an offer, some type of offer. It could be opportunity, it could be a love offer as well, and it's going to it's going to speak directly to you, but directly to you. It's going to take a hold of you, whatever it is either a career path that you've been longing for, or promotion or something like that, or it can be the relationship, marriage, something that's just gonna be like, oh my God, I've been wanting this all my life, or I've been wanting this for such a long time. So that's something like that is also coming in, and the Knight of Cups is also telling you to act on it. Don't delay it further. However, be cautious, right? Be cautious with your coins also, because here is the Five of Pentacles, so be careful, okay, how you proceed also, because you could be stepping into the Five of Pentacles, and you want to be careful with that, because it's a symbol of hardship somehow, a bit of isolation, which I think you're doing already, feeling left out in the cold. It's not just a money card, but it's also a spiritual struggle that you could be going through also, right? Questioning a lot of different things. You also may be worrying about money and health, also belonging to a group or friend group or community, However, it's also a card of hope, okay? Just remember that, usually in the Five of Pentacles, there's in the tarot, in the Rider Waite, you usually see a church in the background. Not in this card, though. The artwork on this one is a little bit different. Okay. So it could be like a spiritual struggle also that you may have, but it also signifies seeking help, okay? Like find sanctuary in the church perhaps, or amongst others, life with like thinking, or the same ideas, okay? Even if you can't see it, it's a reminder to reach out, to others. You don't have to suffer in silence. There's people there for you. There's a community there for you. Even when you think you're alone, there's someone there that will help you, okay? And there's the Knight of Pentacles, okay? The Knight of Pentacles is about patience and diligence, okay, and hard work. The Knight of Pentacles is reliable, logical, and committed, right? Very task oriented, unlike other knights, okay? They're kind of slow, right? They're not in a hurry. The energy is slow and steady. This could be a person. There's actually two people here in this, two connections. So they could be younger than you, or about the same age, but most likely younger. Just slow, but it's cautious, okay? But hardworking, dedicated to routine and so on. This could also be you, right? Dedicated to building something that would last, something that is secure, okay? Also, you must commit to where you want to go, right? Remember, it's an action card. Remember, dreams are only dreams if we don't make it a reality. How does it come? We can't just simply manifest something if we're not acting. We have to do the steps to create, right? That's what creation is. We have to, it just doesn't poof, right? We don't just say poof, abracadabra, and it appears. It doesn't work that way. We have to put the work in also, right? the work that is required. Now, if you want to go to the supermarket and you need to drive there, and your vehicle is parked outside, you need to walk to the door, open it, and go to your car, right? So that's the work, okay? That is the work that you need to put in, okay? Also, you know, it's what's required. You got to do the work to make your dreams tangible, make it a reality. You know, long-term effort will bring in your Seven of Pentacles, right? But know that you have two readings in this 2 nights in this reading, which is, you know, the Knight of Cups brings in emotional, you know, and creativity and intuition, while the Knight of Pentacles provide practicality, right? Patience and focus on manifesting something tangible, okay? 2 nights in a reading typically signifies a group of individuals or friends even, okay? Or lovers, all right? You know, often, you know, indicating a close bond. You also have decisions that you need to make, okay? In regards to that. All right, and you know, there's just, you know, multiple love interests and multiple or secret admirers, right? And you also have the seven the Seven of Pentacles, right? So you know, the Seven of Pentacles is about self-assessment, a long-term vision, okay? You know, after a period of hard work, you must at least take time to reflect, okay? After pause, evaluate your results, make sure that and ask yourself, right, are you on the right path? Is where your journey at the moment taking you to your goals? Is there, or perhaps it has changed, right? And you need to reassess, to adjust your goals, to tweak your path. So that's where it's taken you also. Oh, I forgot to put that card in, it fell. And next you have the Seven of Swords, right? You know, the Seven of Swords is a card of strategy, you know, you being cunning, and it's also a crossroads card, okay? So you need to be careful there also. You know, it's you thinking outside the box, okay? Use your intellect to navigate the situation that you're in right now, whatever situation that is. You know, you'll overcome it. Perhaps you realize that a direct approach to the situation that you're in, it doesn't work. All right, sometimes you'll always get more with honey than you will get with vinegar, okay? So you need to tweak your approach. We just can't be direct all the time. Not everybody's the same. We deliver the message, we communicate a message to someone, they may not interpret the message the way that you want it to be. So you have to understand how people receive, okay, their personality. Yeah, you know, it could be about removing yourself from a draining situation, also a relationship, work situation, you know, just outsmarting your obstacles in general, okay? You using your intelligence to secure the final piece of the puzzle, whatever it may be for you. You know, it's a final stage of moving, or a move, you know, that would allow you to claim victory in your future. All right, whatever it is that you've been working towards, you know, it's literally completing a cycle from perhaps despair to empowerment, you know, in intelligent action, basically, right? That's just can manifest as avoiding confrontation, you know, planning a clever exit. Could be from a relationship you're trying to break free, okay? Just use your smarts, use your wits, right? You know, it also warns you to be mindful, okay, about your moves, you know, and to watch out for others who, you know, may not, just watch out for others that may not have your best interest at heart. All right. Also, you have 2 7s. You have 2 9s. You have 2 7s here also. And you know, 2 7s in a general reading is a sign that you're beginning to notice things, right? You're beginning to notice significant signs, messages from the universal God, dreams, through your dreams, right? Or numbers even, right? Or even spirits, ancestors, you know, depending on how you look at those things in your daily life, right? You could have a dream and someone you've never thought about, that who may pass you dream about them, okay? Or something that belongs to them is just, you know, come out of nowhere. You know, they can be trying to communicate with you and letting you know that, look, things are going to be okay. It also could be warnings, right? It all depends on how you see them. Okay, it's you're at a pivotal moment in your career or business also. Okay, so follow your signs, follow the signs that you're getting from the universe. Pay attention to what's going on around you. All right. Okay, that's the end of that for the general overview and or growth. We're going to go to love, money, sorry. We're going to move on to money. All right. I know money is a thing that, you know, everybody wants to hear about. There's so much going on in the world, and, you know, having enough is on a lot of people's minds. So first card is the Two of Wands. Eight of Swords. Seven of Wands. Knight of Pentacles. Ace of Swords. Six of Cups. And the Four of Pentacles. Okay. So, the Two of Wands is planning for the future. Okay? Plan and potential future. Okay? This card, you know, it's basically about making plans. You know, you're at the point where you can see potential and financial growth, but it's still a vision, okay? Still a vision or a plan. You have to implement it, Taurus. You know, you've got one foot in your current reality and gazing into the future about possibilities, but action, okay? You must take action to make it a reality, okay? In a money reading, you know, it means, you know, it's time to make a strategic plan, right? Don't just dream about it. Like I said, start mapping out the steps that you need to take to make these things happen, okay? The world is literally an oyster, but you have to decide which pearl you're going to dive for, okay? You have to take some action. You know, if you have a plan to start a business, or anything, you know, or do a side hustle, just map out your plan, just do it. Just act, okay? Here's the Eight of Swords, okay? This is feeling trapped, but so you I don't know if you have a money situation that you're if you're having some issues right now with a money situation, but you really need to, start saving. Start saving so you can so you can you know escape, okay? You can escape it. You may definitely need to do the side hustle, okay? Or take up a side hustle, or you may need to go back to school. I see that, contemplating a certification, perhaps going back to school, expanding your education. So here you are at the Seven of Wands, okay? This is you defending your position again, feeling trapped, right? In your financial position, okay? It's you might have some challenge. Everybody's worried right now about their position at work. You may have a competition also at work somehow. Be careful with your coworkers. Try not to gossip at work, okay? Don't gossip. People that you think that are your friends are not. You need to be careful. When it comes to money, there's certain things you don't take with you into the workplace, right? And that's gossiping, okay? Don't, because when it comes at the end of the day, no one cares about your money. They don't care about how you're going to manage if you lose your job, okay? They care about themselves. Do not gossip. Do not gossip. Keep to yourself. People come up with some kind of nonsense, you just say, you smile and you walk away, or whatever it is. Or if you've been doing it already, stop, okay? Just stop. Okay, it isn't the time to be, it's not a time to be passive, okay? You must stand your ground and defend your money, defend your pentacles, okay? You may be fending off rivals, people who want the same position that you, perhaps, that has come available and that you want, right? Could be a promotion. There's a lot of people that's fighting for it, right? It's going for it. So you need to up your game, okay? If you're a business owner, you may be, may have some competitors, even other business owners that might try to steal your idea or product. So you need to be careful, and try to be resistant to pressure, because it's a lot of pressure right now for you, and just not from family and friends, okay? Who may also be needing financial help or asking you for money, perhaps, for a loan. Just, be careful at this time, So, and you're here at the Nine of Pentacles, right? Nine of Pentacles is actually, it's really good, it's financial independence, right? Self-sufficiency. Wherever you go, so once you move past this, you're going to be fine. But you need to, that's you putting your dreams into action. So you taking action, right? It literally is the ultimate card of financial freedom, all right? And it's through your own efforts, right? You've created a comfortable life, security, luxury for yourself, and you did it yourself, right? No one had to help you, and that's what makes it feel so good, right? So rewarding. There's no need to rely on anyone else for money, right? The card also signifies, you enjoying the fruits of your labor, your hard work. You know, you may have a beautiful home, or perhaps gonna buy one, you know, nice things, but be mindful, right? Be mindful also not to overspend at this time, okay? You know, the Nine of Pentacles brings a peace of mind also, right? For being, you're completely self-sufficient, okay? You know, your finances is secure. And here's the Ace of Swords, right? So the Ace of Swords, finances look really good, Taurus, right? The Ace of Swords is a new financial idea, perhaps a breakthrough somehow. If you own your own business, or even if you work for someone, perhaps you have a new idea that would up your game at work, okay, and open doors for you also, right? It's, you know, pure adulterated clarity that you're gonna have, you know, a new idea of making money, perhaps maybe a side hustle, something you've been wanting to do that you're gonna try to implement also, right? You know, it's a brilliant and logical and powerful idea, okay? You know, it could be, like I said, a new business concept, or investment, a winning investment, some type of strategy that you're going to move on, okay? And you're also educating yourself financially, and that's really good, you know, to help you make more decisive decisions. You know, this is the seed of a major financial victory for you. You know, it requires a lot of intellect, okay, and decisive actions from you, you know, but it has the power to cut through obstacles and create more successes for you, okay? And here's the Six of Cups. You know, this is you looking back into your past financial corrections, you know, connections. You might be, if you have a partner or something like that, or a group perhaps, you know, this card points to the past. So in a money reading, it often means revisiting old financial avenues, something that you've done in the past that was successful for you, right? It could be, yeah, reconnecting with if you might have, you know, left the old job, or something happened, you're not there anymore, and this is you reaching out to perhaps an old boss, an old connection. Okay, it's also receiving a gift or inheritance of some type, you know, of some kind. It also, you know, represent a naive approach to money. So you need to be careful there. If you're not very educated in money, be careful where you put your money. You don't want to put your money all in one basket because everybody's excited about the new thing. Remember, don't follow the herd, okay? When the herd say go right, you go left. You just need to be careful. This is not financial advice. The keys here is to look at your financial past, okay, for solutions, okay? Be careful not to get stuck in a financial hype, any financial hype, you know, that's not any past financial hype that's not relevant to your present, okay? There's the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is holding on too tight, right? So you might be holding on a little too tight to your money, to your pentacles. You know, it's a miserly card, you know. Not saying that's what you are, but you know, you're afraid of losing money. So just be careful, right? With this card right here, right? With the Six of Cups, be careful what you don't put your eggs in one basket, okay? You know, you're afraid of losing money too, but at the same time, you know, you're holding on to it too hard, everything you got, but at the same time, You know, it also means that you're successful. You've been successfully saving your money and building a foundation for yourself. Okay, it it often carries a negative connotation, though, right? Of being stagnant, of being in fear. But you know, it can also block the flow of your money. Okay, because if you're holding on too tight, then it can't grow. It's not growing. Also, okay, be careful of losses too. Okay, you know, both. It's coming in and going out. Okay, I get it. You fear poverty and it's preventing you from taking, the necessary risks to grow your wealth. But you have the money, but you don't have the freedom that comes with it. You may not have the freedom that comes with it because too busy guarding it. Okay, but be careful, because it shows that you're gonna have financial success, but just be careful. Just be careful where you put your money. Don't put your money all in one basket. Don't chase the latest investment fad. Be very careful. Okay, some people could afford to lose. You may not, so you need to be careful. Right? There's a lot of stuff going on on the internet. A lot of different fads people are seeing on places like Reddit or YouTube and stuff like that. Just be careful. Be careful. Be smart. Because at the end of the day, what you're gonna say? You're gonna blame the people. Oh no, it's your fault. You're the one that took your money and put it into whatever it is. So you just be careful. Things are just just unstable right now. Just approach everything with caution is my point to you. So we're going to love right now, Taurus. These cards are like falling. Okay. So your first card is the Ten of Cups. That's a great card. The Hangman. The Page of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups. The Eight of Pentacles. The Page of Swords. And you have the Six of Pentacles. All right. In a love reading, the Ten of Cups is like the ultimate card, right? It's the happily ever after card. And if you're in a relationship or you're looking for one, you're looking for connection. Okay, it's the happily ever after card. It's emotional fulfillment, joy, deep harmony, in your current connection, as well as family, right? It's a feeling of looking at your partner and saying, oh my God, this is it. I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person, right? Yeah, you're going to have a period of, bliss, contentment, happiness, joy, even if money's kind of weird, at least this part of your life is working, but money's working for you too. So, and that's really, really good. If you're single, it represents a soulmate connection coming in. Okay, a connection you're seeking or about to find. All right, and in the Hangman position of your love reading is, it represents a necessary pause, a shift in your perspective also, right? Because you need to take a step back and make sure how you're proceeding, is the correct decision that you're going to be making, right? You know, you may feel confused, right now, but, looking at love from a different perspective will help you, okay? A different angle, surrendering control, letting go, stop to old patterns that don't, what is that word I'm looking for? Sabotage. Don't sabotage. Some people are self-sabotaging in relationships also, right? Because they're so afraid it's like their subconscious is taking a hold of them and is so concentrated on the what ifs, what ifs, what ifs, what ifs, what ifs, right? But the what ifs, we never know if the what ifs is ever going to happen. So just go with it. Be happy, okay? Allow yourself to be happy, okay? Let go of old thinking, okay? You need this time for a crucial breakthrough, okay? And to deeper understand your feelings and let go of that what if thinking. And there you are, the Page of Pentacles, right? The Page of Pentacles is about a new beginning, right? More mature, grounded approach to love, right? That's you taking the time to see things from a different point of view. Okay, it's about being willing to evolve the way in which you think about it. Think about love, thinking about heavily, ever after. You building a stable connection with your person, right? Or if you're not with someone, it's you manifesting a new crush, a new connection, a new lasting connection. It's coming in, okay? You must take this serious, okay? Don't manifest people in and you're not ready for a serious relationship, okay? Take practical steps towards your love connections, okay? And here you are, the Queen of Cups. Like, a deep emotional intuition, compassion is the Queen of Cups, okay? Unconditional love. She signifies that you or your partner are operating in a place of profound empathy. Someone who is emotionally aware of their feelings and how to convey it, how to express it. Okay? It's a deep connection, where your connection feels understood. It's a card also telling you to trust your intuition. If you feel that this is it, then, and if that's how your intuition feels, like this is the connection for me, this is my ever after, then, there you have it. And then the Eight of Pentacles. This is a dedication card, right? Dedicated to your connection. It also points to being consistent, right? Giving your daily effort to things that you need to do to make your love last. Like doing different things, going out, having fun together. You may not want to do something. Remember, we are just ourselves. We know what we like. When we're in a connection with another person, we have to consider their feelings, right? We have to consider everything that they bring from their past. Also, their fear, their excitement, their love, their knowledge, their intuition, their intelligence. We have to consider that. So, sometimes we may not want to do something, but our person may want to. So we may have to compromise, right? So we learn to compromise. you know, and communicate. It's also telling you to keep your communication open too. Okay, don't shut down during a fight. Sometimes people shut down and just refuse to discuss it. The other person's, you know, angry or want to discuss, try not to, you know, or make an appointment where, like, we're going to discuss it on this day. I can't do it right now emotionally. I'm just not feeling like I can. So let's do it tomorrow. Just don't, you know, disconnect. It doesn't help the situation. You know, it's also about true and lasting love. Okay, you're willing to do the work. Okay, and your person's willing to do the work to make your connection, you know, last. Okay. So, you know, and the Page of Swords also is telling you to, yeah, leave your, you know, keep your connection open. Be honest also, okay? Be honest. And do things that stimulates your partner, that stimulates the relationship. It's just like planting a seed, right? If you plant a seed, and you don't water it, you don't expect it to grow, it's not going to grow. Okay, so you need to do the things that would, you know, create growth. And here you are at the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so, you know, you put the work in, it's going to grow. Okay, the Six of Pentacles is telling you that take whatever time you need before going forward and committing, okay, into this beautiful connection that you may have or will have or is stepping into, this magnetic thing that is, you know, that feeling that you have that's pulling you towards this person that you just can't get enough. Take time. Make sure you're doing it correctly. Make sure that you're you know, you're taking the time and you're not rushing anything, right? You're taking time to understand each other, learn about each other, right? Don't be over possessive. Don't be jealous. You know, if you know that you're a jealous, possessive person, you need to work on that. Don't be resistant to change. Okay, you want stability, and if you're possessive and over jealous, you don't want to scare the person off, because that can scare people off. People, you know, a lot of people don't like that. Some people may like it and feel, you know, like, oh my gosh, this person cares about me, but some people don't. For some people it's a turn off. Okay, you know, it can also be a warning, you know, telling you to, you know, don't suffocate your person also. Okay, I mean, things look really good for you here, Taurus. You know, you have good love, you have a long-term lasting connection, and if you're not in a connection, it's coming in. You know, it's one of those dynamic connections that's just going to take your breath away, but you need to proceed with caution. You need to not be overly clingy. Don't be overly jealous. Don't be overly possessive. Okay, because, you know, the more you try to hold on to it, the more it's going to slip away. So you need to relax yourself. Okay, all right, Taurus, thank you for stopping by. I hope the reading helps. You know, sending you positive vibes, and until next time,